And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. Leicester, Aston Villa 2, Leicester 4. We've done it. We've won the first game since mid-November. And what a game it was. I mean, there's lots of stuff to talk about. Make sure you get it in the comments down below and we'll be able to talk about that. Hopefully, we'll have some guests joining soon as well. So again, make sure you get your thoughts down in the comments. I'll try and bring them up as we go along. But Leicester City, first thing we've done, we've started with all three of our subs we brought in. So just looking at, again, the 4-3-3 we played with, worked relatively well, to be honest. We'll get some people, hopefully, that are going to join relatively soon. And all three of them started. For me, it was a bit of a shock. I'm not going to lie. Again, Tete kind of expected. Christian kind of expected. But Suter as well. We'll get into individual performance. But overall, good performance. There's definitely some things to improve. And I'm glad, because the thing is, it was turning into relegation watch. And I'm looking at other people in the table. And luckily, this week, results have fallen quite nicely for us. I'll bring up the table in just a second. But we are moving away from that dreaded relegation zone. And that's the most important thing. If there was going to be a win that we were going to get in February, it looked like it was against Villa. And Villa were similar performance. It was similar performance from both teams. So I want to bring up some points for you as well. Again, get your likes in, comments in, all that good stuff. We'll try and bring them up as it goes. Tyler's like, that was fun. Oh, mate, honestly, at times you just have to hold on tight. And for so many times we've seen Leicester concede in those positions. I'm really glad that we haven't and things are going in the right direction, because at times there was too much where somebody messaged me at half time. Again, Fatter, if you are watching, you messaged me going, oh, you're winning, fantastic. I was like, just let's see it full time, because we've seen Leicester drop points before. So just again, it was end-to-end football from minute one. And then you're thinking, when they score after 9 minutes, you're thinking, here we go, Leicester. What's happening now? Where is this going to go? It's going to be number 2, number 3, number 4. And it did equal out, which I'm quite happy about. Anyway, get your thoughts in terms of some of the thoughts. Again, Andy's in the comments. Hi, Andy. Hopefully you're well. Exactly the mix of goals were mixing off... exciting, the mix of goals were capitalizing off Villa's mistakes and often well-crafted our offensive attacks. Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's important to get carried away to a certain extent, because we've just not had 3 points in 2 months now. I think for the mid of coming up to 3 months, because last time we had one was against, I think, West Ham coming into the break, coming into the World Cup break. So the fact that we've got it, regardless, if we've managed to do it, and that's all that matters in this relegation fight. 3 points is 3 points, and we've took that off them. Villa did make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but we've capitalized on them, and that's the most important thing. We've seen too many times where we've created an opportunity, especially I'm thinking against Villa, so against Forest, where Harvey Barnes had the room to himself, come in, and we've just missed it. This time we took our chances, and with this squad now, with that starting 11, it just feels different. It feels like we've had a World Cup. It feels like we're coming back into it. Now, I will reserve judgment, because we've got some hard games coming up. And let's be honest, it's going to be hard. But I'm buzzing. And I've not been buzzing for such a while. Let's get into some of your comments as well. Anil's in chat. Shout out, Anil. Hopefully you're well, mate. But one of the best watchers as well, 100%. When was the last time that we've saw a performance that good? I'm probably going to get that question over to somebody who's just joined, let him set up a little bit. But yeah, for a while, definitely one of them. We have Akash in. Akash is joining. Akash, mate, really good to have you on again. Where do we start with that one? We're just talking about the best game, unreal game, best to watch for in a while. When's the last time you've seen a game that exciting for Leicester?
I don't even remember when we had a cushion of 2 goals lead, and since the final 90 minutes ended, I have been smiling from year to year. So that tells you a lot.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And I think another point, again, we'll get into some of the formations and things. I was just waiting for you to join a little bit more as well. Anil puts a really good point. Iheanacho in the false 9, it worked. He worked. That formation with a 4-3-3 with Nacho playing in that position, I think was... I can't speak highly enough of him. We all know how good of a player he is as Leicester fans, and see him get given this opportunity with Barnes one side, Tete the other. I think he absolutely thrived. The only disadvantage I would say is he missed that opportunity in the 46th minute. Apart from that, fantastic game.
Yeah, really caught Aston Villa sleeping over there. 46th minute, he deserved a second goal. Worth a shot, good shot, not completely wasted, but yeah, missed the mark. But would have been fantastic if he scored that second one, because I mean, before what I did over the 45 minutes, I'm really happy with that content. Not gonna ask to stretch it out, but then again, those little things, could have gotten more. But fantastic, uh, right from the get go, when he gets started, when he gets picked by the manager, he really disappoints. He has shown
Yeah.
that over and over in FA Cup, and it was really harsh on him. He was not getting playing time, and we were trusting Vardy again. Then Daka didn't work out in a couple of games. He was slipping and slopping. So
Mhm.
really, I saw this squad boosted up with all the new integrations, and we played like a rejuvenated team.
Mm. Yeah, we are. And again, it is early to tell. It's one game in. It's kind of similar feel to how we won against Nottingham Forest, which was 4-2, but 4-0. But the signs are there, but we want to see it coming again. So I mean, I'm enjoying myself to get carried away because it's been so depressing for so many long periods of the season. So
So
I'm
long.
kind of glad about that as well. Just that we've got 3 points, and we will get into having a look at the other teams because some results have gone for us, which I'll bring up in a second as well. And it's starting to be a little bit of a gap, but again, one result, one match, and we're right back in it. So it can't take our foot off the gas now. Rene's put in the chat and says Tete's man of the match. Just want to talk on that guy as well. We've mentioned a few times, we've even mentioned Rob. He goes, oh, well, Maddison is that right-sided player that can cut in. Tete's different. And I think he today was fantastic. And he's getting the best out of Barnes, in my opinion, as well, allowing the three of them to go forward.
It was actually very harsh of us and very narrow-minded to actually expect other players filling in for that role that Riyad Mahrez has left. Nobody
Mm,
was natural at it, and I think the closest somebody came was, to really develop on Ademola Lookman, but that train has left the station, and we
mm,
have a proper right winger on our hands. I hope it gets permanent, because even if he bumps out for 2-3 games or at the end of the season, I think the potential is very high on this one, and we should totally invest and get that deal secured in the summer. Very promising promise display, timed run, everything was good about it. First
mm,
time stepping his foot into a Premier League pitch. Aston Villa on
mm.
their resurgence, not an easy side to beat, and Unai Emery is a great manager. So those things being said, I really think he outshone a lot of the other players on that pitch today.
Yeah, I think there was good performances overall, but he was one of the standouts for sure. And I think what really impressed me, we know how good he is going forward, but adapted to the Premier League, it looks like he's got that right mentality there. My only criticism is tracking back. You need to do that in the Premier League. You need to be able to track back and work your man, because Castagna is a great defender, but he can't do it on his own, especially when you've got the likes of the people who he was up against today and even in the future. And the only other thing is he needs to be a little less selfish. At times he was taking shots, and I don't mind that because at times we've not had anybody that's doing it. If there's somebody in a good position, he needs to make that right snap decision to bring them into the game rather than shooting. These are minor criticisms because the levels have come up so much. But it's just a couple of points I wanted to mention.
Yeah, good that you have them, because I'm sure he will be developing a lot. It's only his first game, and as you said, you cannot cover the whole flank. I mean, Castani cannot do it alone. Neither Ricardo Pereira can do it when he returns. And
Mm-hmm.
Tetel needs to learn that. But from an offensive point of view, I think we have the right player in the right position for now. And
Yeah.
the remaining days, it will be a dogfight. And I think it's the best shot that we can have now, because the manager has been bagged. The club is going in the right direction. We saw that lineup; it was full of young starlets, so the direction is sort of clear. Whoever takes it, if Brendan Rodgers fails at the end of the day, even a new manager will be interested to play with this prospect, because you can see the raw core and the potential of this team. Very raw, but you
Yeah.
can mold it according to yourself.
Exactly. And speaking of raw talents as well, again, Tyler puts in about Tete again. Magical allows us to get again the best out of Barnes. Even when Barnes and Maddison weren't great. Again, I will come on to Barnes Maddison in a second, but the second point I want to come to is Kristiansen. I mean, for a player that's 20 years old, he mentions it. He doesn't look 20. He doesn't play like a 20-year-old. I think today he was up against Bailey. Good player, very, very good player. In the second half, especially, I think Bailey's levels dropped, but Kristiansen didn't put a foot wrong. And credit to him because he played fantastically today.
It was a hard task. Marking Leon Bailey isn't easy. He's a very agile, tactically gifted player. But first half, it was, going 50-50. Both were troubled by each other. Both were cancelling each other out. But I see the kind of player that definitely doesn't fit a 20-year-old. Very, very good talent on our hands again. The way he runs up as a wing back, he intermingles with Harvey Barnes, and that was the reason how we got one of the goals. Very impressed with him. Even on his debut, he dropped something for KDH, and KDH was unable to maneuver it correctly. But in advanced position, he really gives us that edge. What I feel has been missing, because same players tiring off, not making proper runs, and there was obviously a gap of support that has been filled in this match. I hope that the trend continues. And as I said, it was interesting after so long to watch Leicester play. Leaving the result aside, even when we were 1-0 down, I felt that some spark I saw in that first 10 minutes was going to make this game interesting. And well, my prediction was 2-2 or somewhere around that region, but it elevated exceeded my expectations. So I am very content and happy with that. And as I said, I have not been here for 4 months, and since 4 months you guys have been taking the same bitter medicine, same performances, going down and down and down, same repeated mistakes, what this, what that. In the middle we had a World Cup, but everything was in shambles, right? And now finally, after the transfer window, didn't expect Leicester to go so good and so work their business so good around the transfer window, because last time we were disappointed because there was an embargo on the Southampton man. But this time I think they have picked their players rightfully. Even the loan deals that we secured was a little bit skeptical, but right now, without injuries, I hope it stays that way and we're going to flourish.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, because again, with the injuries being one thing, I think somebody mentioned, I think Dan mentioned as well, the backup right back at this moment in time is Daniel Amate, which is a bit of a concern. But again, don't try and take up too much away, because of, again, we've played well today. And one thing I noticed about Christian as well, I don't know if you noticed, on the left-hand side, he was on set pieces. Set pieces on corners specifically, which I thought was interesting because, considering that, I don't know if Maddison was on the other side, but normally we have Tielemans and Maddison on corners. The fact that Kristiansen at 20 years old has come into the team and displaced Maddison as corners after playing not even one game in the first Premier League game, I think that says a lot about him.
I think it's a right call, because I have always felt that Maddison with those free kicks, okay, Maddison is the best player that you can get, but in corners, I think without even Yuri Tillemans is not too good at it. Sometimes he have taken that when Maddison was off, but you are missing Maddison as a threat in the box. I think outside the box with his long range foot, he's a very valuable asset. And with corner duties, you don't get that. So there is always a added responsibility that Brendan Rodgers should look into. And if he sees Christensen fit to take up that role, I think it's going to be very prosperous if Maddison stays.
Yeah. There's rumours at the moment, obviously, with Maddison not staying at the moment and possibly moving on, which we'll talk about probably later. But for now, let's just enjoy this. I mean, we'll go into the first goal. So it all came from KDH pressing. If you remember, again, Villa were a little bit all over the place, and that was kind of a continued theme at the back. They wanted to play out of the back, and it was a continued theme. They were all over the place, which is something to take in mind, but also to praise Leicester for. The fact that KDH was pressing, Nacho and then Maddison with the finish. It was a nice. We were capitalising on their chances that they messed up on, and that's something that I've criticised Leicester in the past. The fact that we got that goal for 1-1 at 12 minutes. For me, it was like, okay, cool, we've got that. Rather than we've seen us do it again, and confidence just let the whole team down. And if it was Harvey Barnes before, he would have missed the opportunity.
Very important counter pressing. We don't do that often, but today Emiliano Martin, very pleased to see Martinez getting beat 4 times in a row. That too, one time by a Brazilian. It's fantastic. There are so many plots in that one itself. Uh, that 12th minute goal was so crucial for us because we stole it right out of their noses and their morale fell down. You could instantly see there was Harry Soter's missed opportunity right there. Like he helped Villa, and our morale dropped. Similarly, theirs dropped
Mhm.
at that time, and we fought back relatively quick, which was again, it's been months since we have seen that, and
Yeah.
that gave the spark and the fight that this is going to be an interesting game, and it was. I even betted on
Mhm.
Leicester, so I'm really happy about my returns today.
I'm glad you did, and glad you make money from it because I wasn't expecting going into it that was the case. And it's got a good comment as well. Um, do you think we need an out and out CDM out there? We defended well, we gave up too many chances. I think this is a Brendan Rodgers style of play that just we give up a lot of chances, and B, I'm glad that he made that substitution to bring Mendy on for exactly this reason because the game was needing that.
In some matches, you need to start with a proper CDM. I feel like this was like a tennis or a basketball game. Both
Hmm.
sides were equal minded in counter pressing, counter target, counter attacks, and all that. So we're gonna do that. We were struggling to find our identity, but when we did, I think it was absolutely the right move to go in with an attacking mindset, and that is what ultimately gave us the 4-2 score line. Right, again an
Hmm.
attacking midfielder coming in, and substitutions were done right, everything was done right. But in some games, I think the game against Manchester United, you need a CDM to cancel out their midfield because they will be a
Hmm.
powerhouse to deal with. So game per game basis, you need to tweak that. But whoever out of KDH or Telemans performs better should be given a priority in the next game.
Hmm.
Because you have CDMs, you have NDD, you have Sumare, you have Mendy. So three of them
Hmm.
can fill in that spot. One is very safe, one is going through a rough patch, and another one is okay. So
Always
when you
injured.
have options, I don't. Yeah, when you have options, so you can utilize that, but it should be on a game to game basis.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we should be able to feel it out as we go. And the fact that we've got the
Hmm.
win, fantastic for us. And that's the main takeaway from this. I'm only picking apart certain things because I don't want to be completely we're in the clear now. We've played fantastically today and we've performed well, but there are still issues that will have to be resolved. And we have to follow this up with another couple of results to take us up towards the middle of the table because that's the main issue. C92 is here, so make sure you go and subscribe to Gary. Again, follow C92 on Twitter. Again, really good guy, knows a lot about Leicester, and subscribe to his Twitch as well. And as you were saying, kind of Martinez rounded twice was a great sight as well as you were kind of saying, Akash as well. And yeah, I mean, in terms of the way we played, it was great, and I think certain players grew into the game. We've mentioned Christensen, we've mentioned Tete. Another player that I want to mention is Harry. Obviously, Harry Suter he's so tall. I knew he was tall, but when you see it on
Giant,
TV, my God,
giant.
he's massive. What do you think of his
Yeah.
performance today? I'm not prepared to make an assumption as of yet. There will be people that makes the assumption because he got the own goal, but I'm not prepared to make a massive judgment here or there as of yet.
As often is the case, it's very hard to deflect balls when you have a stature that big.
Hmm.
But Sota, well, in the second half, he blocked a vital shot, as did Faz. So could have been 2 goals for Aston Villa. He scored
Hmm.
one, but he definitely cancelled one. And he was tiptoeing around, following and doing blocking shots there, here and there, getting the better of his matches and his counterparts. There was a time when Aston Villa was really pushing for it when the scoreline was 3-2. At one point, I
Hmm.
saw Tyron Mings sticking out in our box and trying to create difficulties for us, and that was saying something because they were really optimistic that they could get a goal in, and that's when those 2 shots came in that each of our center backs saved, and when Rogers switched to a back five. Mm,
Hmm.
so presence is very important because today we didn't get bullied on corners. That was a
Hmm.
good thing because
Hmm.
corners were our Achilles heel for a long time. So
Yeah.
those things didn't happen. Very harsh to score a goal like that helped Villa. But as you can see, I mean, it could have gone outside for a corner, but it was very
Mm.
harsh for me to nitpick on that and say that, well, we overestimated him or something. And he was injured prior to this match, so I would give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers may have played the mind game, and he was not as injured right now as Brendan Rodgers made it out to be.
Mm.
But recovering from an injury is
Mhm.
still he put that kind of a performance throughout the match. I think I am impressed.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that for me, I'm happy with it. But bearing in mind, he's been playing with Stoke again. He's coming back from an injury. This has been it was a tough back line to play against. He was caught out a couple of times. I said this in the comments, I think, from when I did the Harry Suter analysis. He's one for the future, but we need one right now. And that's the problem. You can see there's a good player in there in terms of his playing out from the back. Some of the long balls he was doing, I think it was one to Tete that was
Yeah,
offside. You could
yeah, yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
vision.
That was good.
You can
That was
there
good.
was some really good parts there, but it's going to take time. He's coming back from an ACL, and we know Leicester City how we are with ACLs. And again, it's not looking great without trying to put too much of a negative spin on it. But there's promise there. Villa again in the first half, they tried and they tried. Watkins missed a couple of opportunities. When Dia hit the woodwork a couple of times when they could have gone in, and it was just the look of the draw and the fact they went ahead. And that was the most impressive thing. The fact that they went ahead at 2-1. Before that would have been game over. Leicester City shut up shop. We don't know what we're doing. We pushed for the 2-2, and then we pushed again for the goal. And just come on to the second goal as well. The Barnes cross was absolutely beautiful. And Iheanacho, right place, right time, that false nine position. Left Mings should have done better, but he left Mings for nothing. Lovely little tap in. Again, the
Even
mentality to
Christensen on
get
the
that
build
done
up.
at 2-1 down. Yeah.
Even Christensen
Yeah.
to build that up, it was flawless. Kelechi, how he beat the offside trap and leap to score that goal shows his hunger.
Mm.
Uh, Again, second goal, again second equalizer. We came back from behind, shows us the mentality because that has been missing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not even kidding. Like it's been many months. I don't even remember when we were able to enjoy a two-goal lead.
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Exactly.
I don't.
No, I
So
can't
it
remember.
is refreshing. It was very refreshing, and for the first goal, even Kelechi Iheanacho's presence of mind to give that to Madison and not be selfish. I think that speaks a lot about the man. I
Yeah.
know he is not as reliable. I mean, if you play him in 10 games, he will not give you. I mean, he will not impress you in four of them. But in those six, I think he has an element of surprise that he can do in each of those 6 games. So it's a very safe bet at this moment to capitalize his form over how his perception is around the Premier League. So I'd
Yeah.
really be interested to see him play and feature more and more as we head towards the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely agree there because again, this is work in progress. The players are still getting to know each other. They're still understanding their each other's roles, and there are at times it did feel like a little bit, especially towards the beginning, individual performances where certain players they weren't really gelling as a team, and that's to be expected when you throw 3 new players in, one that's joined only recently, and is not trained with the squad a couple of times. It is going to take time to build that. And I think just coming in some of the comments, we've got Glenn. So again, make sure you follow Glenn. Link in the description as well to his channel and the Maple Fox as well. Villa split the lines too easily with Yuri and KDH, as is what you were saying with the double pivot with Wilf and Yuri, but then we do lose KDH. It's a golden problem to have, and I think when Mendy came on, it did show up the game. He's that steady guy that can show up the game, and you need that in a team. And I think he allowed that. There was a couple of times where somebody in the midfield for him, I remember there was a 1-2, and there was a lovely, his relationship with Yuri can't be underrated, but I can't say drop KDH. And he's just coming back from injury as well. So it's a golden problem to have, but I'm not too concerned.
I would say the same because this match you cannot have defended Villa to a scoreless score. You couldn't have done that because Villa were cruising after they sacked their manager and brought Unai in. So they were a strong side. We should be skeptical how our new assets played. But in the next game, I am optimistic because at the later time, Sonchu came in. He was looking good.
Mm,
I don't know. He was looking brave and bold, like the reckless Sonchu. Not very much reckless, but the aggression was there. And maybe in the future, if he keeps that up, because he's going in regardless, so
mm,
maybe we can see a back three system or a back five, depending on how the stronger teams that we play. With back five, I think it gives us a very comfortable cover because we can
mm,
transition it from back three depending on the position of the ball. And
mm.
I'm really interested to see how Brendan Rodgers plays his cards out, because he has got a minor rebuild, let's say,
Yeah.
and let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm totally with you because there is, again, I'm still not convinced he's the right man to take us forward. But for now, we're stuck with him, and just to get us out of this heap. And there will be people saying told you so, but I just want to show you something as well. So we mentioned Suyunchu. Daniel Amate wasn't even on the bench, which I was really surprised at. I'm surprised that Suyunchu was on the bench over Amate. I don't know if there's been an injury or something, because, again, he does like Amate. And the game management, as you were saying, was fantastic. So, obviously, we get the goal. Nacho in the 46 minutes missed the opportunity. Oh, no, sorry. We'll get onto the third goal for Tete. But yeah, so again, it's just to show you that, again, obviously, there was he made all 5 subs. And it's again like, where's this Brendan? Where's this been? We've had the opportunity. We've again game management, playing 3 at the back, taking off Christensen, putting on Thomas. I was a little bit like, okay, I can understand why you've done it, but I'm not too happy about it. But totally understand why. Um, then Sionju coming in, secured out the game nicely, took the momentum away from Villa. But I want to come back to one point. So we've mentioned people. There's people that keep talking about Tete as well. Oh, you got to go. Yeah, no worries. If you have to go, Akash, that's fine. I'll carry on the rest of the chat. But again, I'll leave a link to everything in the description of below. Also, I'll leave that article that you've wrote as well. So feel free to plug that.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll see you probably in the next game as well, because I have now time on my hands, and it wouldn't be so bad to catch up if Leicester is playing like this. So plenty more chats expected, and hopefully we go in the right direction. So good night to you
Perfect.
guys. Goodbye.
Yep. Thank you, Akash. Yeah, I appreciate it. Again, I'll leave the link to Akash's article below. But yeah, great to stop by. I'll try and get through some of your comments. Again, been flying in thick and fast. But yes, again, in terms of some of the points you've got, again, Gary's in the chat. So C92. Understand again, the own goal didn't let it affect it. I think we'll talk about Suter there. I think he was, great overall. And I think, again, referring to Suter, settled in well, made crucial tackles at the end. I agree. I think he made some really good tackles, and he played in a way that I was surprised. He's still adapting to the Premier League. He's still getting over that hip injury. The fact that he put all 3 subs in is a big thing, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. Again, he's one for the future. We will build on it hopefully later on. And let's just keep going in terms of some of the comments as well. Tete's goal, again, I'm just going to get into that. Such a great pick out by Ihaenacho. I'm going to watch again. I've not watched Match of the Day in quite a while because it's not worth it. It's really not worth it considering the amount of just rubbish that Leicester have played. Hopefully this can be something where we can turn up and we can go forward, because again, love for Tete, and the Tete finish just around the keeper and slot it in. The awareness to get into that position where we've needed somebody to do that. It is fantastic. My only thing is, I thought that playing the false 9 and playing Maddison would really get in each other's way. In my opinion, they didn't. I'm not exactly sure how, but with Kelechi dropping deep, playing that role, bringing the other wingers in, the Barnes and Tete specifically, and then Maddison, he kind of picked up other roles, was allowed to move freely in that middle position while Tillemans dropped back as the quarterback role that we're normally used to, and KDHB in the running. So them 3, even though they take up similar positions, they didn't get each other way, which was quite nice. Just to get back into your comments, but yeah, in terms of that, Tyler mentioned again, Villa tried to play the off track rule offline at least 8 times. You are right. They did play that. However, I'm not mad at it because of other things that were happening. We still managed to score 4 goals. And if they keep setting the offside trap, That's sure. There's not many times where we've been beaten by the offside trap and really had a go at them, but I'm glad that that's the case as well. Gray's in the chat. Yeah, big up Gray, and thank you for the donation last time as well. Really appreciate it. Knew that signing would make a difference. Suto so unlucky with their second goal. Yeah. Again, 3 own goals we've got for our centre backs now. It's at the end of the day, what was nice about it when he had the own goal, Wellsford just go, look, come on, man, we got this, and he didn't let him. What's impressive? These things will happen in football. Did it let him? His mentality was like, we're going to learn from it, I'm going to grow from it, and I'm going to get better, and I'm not going to go into my shell, and that's what I was really impressed with. I'm really happy that he did that, and he put up a good performance. Switching to a back 3, I think, was slightly better for him as well. Playing fast in the middle, him on the right and Söyüncü on the left. When I did my analysis, if you've not watched it, go and watch the Harry Soto analysis after the video. I talked about a back 3, and I specifically put him in the middle. I put Fast to the left, and I put Daniel Amate to the right, because I just thought Söyüncü was finished. The Leicester City, I just didn't expect him to come on. All sorts of surprising in this one as well. So I'm really happy to see, again, some of the comments. Brooklyn's put in a comment about Brooklyn being the best passer, not as fast as Vardy and Daka, but he's cagey, tricky, and tries to steal the balls. Yeah, so I think Nacho played that role where this was a very Nacho performance. The beginning, I think it was Ashley Young, where he was all over, kind of like he treaded on him and he was over and didn't quite work. And then he puts in a moment of brilliance. And then again, later on, he ends up just fouling somebody for no reason. This is what you get with Nacho. And I'm hoping he signs a contract extension, because I've not remembered a time where we've had other strikers fit and he's chose in the Premier League to start Kelechi Ihaenacho. I'm surprised he came off. I'm genuinely surprised he came off of Vardy. Vardy, I don't know. What did he really offer? He offered a little bit, but the levels dropped when Vardy came on. And I just thought it was something to mention. I'm not here to slander Vardy, but the levels did drop a little bit from an offensive point of view. I would have preferred to see Nacho on for the 90 minutes. KDH was good. Maddison, again, Maddison and KDH are just coming back from the injuries. So it's good, just nurse them in slowly. So taking off 61 minutes. Pratt, obviously a good substitution to take his place. And he took his goal fantastically for the 4-2 and just wrapped the game up. So I was like, thank God. We've seen it so many times where we've been leading by 1 goal. We've changed the formation and we let the pressure come to us and we end up losing. The fact that we've not lost is fantastic, in my opinion. Just looking at again, we need to get the pre-contract done. Totally, Shane. Totally, Sean. Sorry. We'll have to see. I'm hoping he's not too good that he puts him in the shop window. For me, he's a combination of 2 players, Richarlison and Riyad Mahrez. Kind of that tricky, can cut on the inside, take a player on. He's more physical than Mahrez ever was. Mahrez was more technical than he was. So yeah, I think there's something to really talk about as well. Really enjoyed some of the performances that were happening in this game as well. The fact that again we've won is the main thing, and we'll get in some of the points now as well. So I'll bring up SofaScore just to show you some of the statistics around that as well. So again, as you saw, this is something that won't be said. Villa were on top for the majority of the game. If you look at again with the green, that is Villa, and they are again. You just put raid. Are you raid? Is that? Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming in, Lewis. But we're just talking about how we're doing at the moment. We've won. Look, you man owe me a drink. We've kept you again with your terrible place. Oh my God, we really raided me there. Appreciate that. That's gone sky high. But yeah, thank you for that, Lewis. I'm just going through some of the analysis at the moment. So we've got at the moment, you've really thrown me off with the raid, but thank you so much for all the love. So we've got some of the graphs at the moment where we've played again good football. Leicester, when we were in these phases, have scored. So I think I think that one we had one earlier, and then I think finally towards the end with Dennis Pratt that we managed to score. I think that we did fantastically well, and I'm just happy that we've gone into a good place as well. Let's get into and. Again, the momentum was against us when we scored. Again, I'll try and find XG stats and things later on, but I think these are quite fun. Again, looking at some of these formations. So Harry, obviously, he was, again, own goal. Looking at his average position, again, it wasn't too bad. Oh, why is that not loading up? Because it's on that right-hand side. Can't try to load it up. He was playing that right-hand side position. Again, was getting forward a little bit. Again, own goal. Didn't have to go. Did turn up when he needed to. I would like to see more of him from set pieces. And again, just looking at the average positioning will be quite good. I want to see Kristiansen as well. Again, he was offering a lot from that left-hand side, which I think was, again, quite nice. Again, 3 clearances, 0 shots and assists. What was nice as well, he was playing on the overlap with Barnes. And also, there was times where he was going screaming for the ball. The fact that he's only 20 years old and he's performing like this for 81 minutes. Fantastic. And again, I'll try and get some of the points as well. Kelechi, again, it was nice to see. Again, didn't have too much of the touch of the ball. And that's the thing. He doesn't need a lot, and he will foul. He will make stupid mistakes. But he got a goal and 2 assists. Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? He got a goal and 2 assists. It's fantastic. So, yeah, just well done for Kelechi. I'm just surprised he was taken off. And I want to see a couple of other. Is there any other players that you want to see as well? And just see some of the comments. Shout out to Nandez. Again, make sure you go and subscribe to Nandez channel. Again, he's uploading loads more stuff as well. So Nandez1, I think, official on YouTube. Great save for, again, he's great game for debutants. Again, unlucky for Sutar, we touched on. Nacho proves why he needs to start again. He's our most informed striker, and I like Daka, and I think Daka's a good player. But again, we're in a good place in terms of him as well. Lewis says again, thank you for the raid. Chelsea boys are in it again. Well done, lads. We've kept you. We get the table up actually at the moment. Since you guys are here, we've kept you again clear. We're still a few points behind you. Again, I don't think we're going to catch you. However, let's look at that again. Obviously, Chelsea are not in a great position at the moment. We are, again, we've kept that gap. Aston Villa have kept 11th. Chelsea are just, again, they're just hanging on in terms of goal difference as well. This has put us, oh, wrong one. So 21 games played. Leicester have a point a game at this moment in time. So same as Forest, we want to be finishing higher than Forest. Forest, I don't know who they have this weekend. Anybody anything you need to know? The end of the day, we need to make sure that we are getting the best out of this performance, and we are. The Bournemouth result went our way. Again, we're 15 points in difference. Everton won. Southampton won. And then we look at, again, Leeds United. If there is going to be a team that goes down, I think Everton have just made a great signing in Sean Dyche. I think it might be these two plus Wolves. It's not Wolves, sorry. Leeds. I think that'll be the 3 that go down in terms of them. Forest versus Leeds, we need a draw out of both of them. 100% we need a draw out of both of them for that game. And also Leeds have a game in hand. So it's something that we're coming into and we're going to be looking at later on as well. Because, I mean, there's some performance-wise, that's all that matters. We got the 3 points. And that's pretty much it in terms of the game. Happy with the way we're performing. Now we've got a hard run. Now we've got Tottenham in the next game. Hopefully we've got a preview coming with asking around again. If you know any Tottenham fans, make sure to recommend them on Beyond the 90 Twitter. That'll be the best place for it as well. But we did ride our luck a little bit as well. Coutinho with a 71st minute offside. Really surprised that just about held on there. And the next one I've got is again Villa. That they were pushing and they were pushing and they were pushing. Especially offensively, we just held on. There was last-ditch tackles by Fast, I remember, Castagna, Tillemans. Again, really surprised and really happy for that. But they piled on the pressure, and for me, we didn't capitulate. Our mentality looks like we're going in the right direction, and the points table, we can just need to build that from where we are at the moment. And then, obviously, the last thing that happened was again we changed to a back five as well. Tete came off, Sionchu came on, Kristiansen came off, and Thomas came on. 5-4, managed the game out beautifully. And that's what we want to see from Rodgers. I still stick by the opinion. I don't think he's the right man to lead us forward in terms of for the long term. But credit to him where it's due. He deserves the credit today. So, yes, thank you guys for joining. Again, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, thank you for Lewis again for the raid. Again, really appreciate that. My guy, again, if you make sure you want to check out Lewis's channel, I will be on there tomorrow again, because I think, what's it called? I think he was mentioning it earlier. Ethan was mentioning about Shameless tomorrow. Liverpool lost 3-0. We go over it on Lewis's channel, so head to Carefree Lewis G, as you've seen there as well. Go to Carefree Lewis G, and again, we're going to be taking the piss out of everybody, including myself. It's all good fun. Very much of a banter show. Should be Sunday end anyway. Make sure you go subscribe there. Make sure again you read the article that I'll post after this video is posted to Akash's channel, Akash's article in the description. Check out all the people that I've mentioned as well. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next video. So goodbye.